All right, day 26 through 28 of my 40-day water fast. A couple of things have changed. Yeah, I just felt something had changed. Something was different. And so I just felt compelled to just shave it all off. Shave it clean, shave it all clean. Yeah, so one of the things that happened since the last entry is that I started consuming more apple cider vinegar, and just started dousing it more and more. Cayenne pepper, all that good stuff. And I kind of violated the fast a bit. I mean, I'm not eating meals, but I ended up having some honey got into my drinks. So I'm kind of, but again, I'm experimenting with this. So past fasts, I was like hardcore, super strict. This time I'm kind of playing with it a bit. I'm still healing, still going down in weight. I mean, I kind of went back up a bit. Yeah, the last one, day 25, I was at had gone all the way down to 187, and then I bounced back up to 188.6. And then so on day 26, I was still, pH was at 6. Ketones definitely dropped. Ketones went down to 2. So I could see that, some of the honey in there definitely affected my ketones. And so I was still in ketosis, but nowhere near as strong. Whereas I was a 6 before, it dropped down to a 2. And then again, stayed up super late, 3:40 a.m., doing some more, testing some ketamine, and just doing lots of apple cider vinegar. But something happened. It was interesting. The following day, on day 27, my weight creeped up a little higher. I went back up to 189.8, which was the same weight I was on day 24. So, but I've had that happen before where it kind of starts fluctuating around. But obviously, I definitely had veered off of doing a pure water. And now I was kind of moving into, I would describe as like more of a master cleanse kind of thing I was experimenting with. And then when I woke up basically 3 hours later. I went to bed almost 4 in the morning. I just woke up exactly at 7 automatically without an alarm clock. So about 3 hours later. Felt pretty rested for the most part. And just there was like a sense of something was different. I could feel something was noticeably different that morning. And when I went to go check my pH, suddenly my pH jumped all the way to 7.25, which that is actually is perfect pH, because that's 7.25 is the pH of your blood. And so to have a pH that's like exactly the pH of my blood was like, wow, I was just like pleasantly surprised about that. I mean, when I checked on my scale, I'd gone up even more. So I was like, oh, okay, I've definitely violated a little here. But on the flip side, I was like, damn, my pH suddenly just bam, got perfect. Other trade-off, clearly, because I had consumed a certain amount of like some of that little bit of the honey, and actually I had gotten this one apple cider vinegar, Bragg's, but there was one that had the cayenne in it, and it already had a little bit of honey added to it. And I just initially was just sampling a little bit, and I realized I probably consumed a little too much of it. So again, ketones drop down to 1. um, so again, I'm like technically violated, but it's like master cleanse. I mean, I'm still not eating any meals. I'm not eating any food, any real food at this point. And then fast forward to today, it started going back down again. Went from 189.8 down to 189.2, and then pH dropped just a little bit. It was still at a solid 7 though, so still pretty much on point. Ketones stayed at 1, and then but then I slept in more this time. I got up at like 10:30, but again went to bed at like 4. It's almost midnight now. Today I just went total cold turkey. Like I literally didn't have anything other than just plain water today. I didn't even have any salt, nothing. So I realized I went a little too far the last 2 days. It was good in the sense that my pH suddenly just rebalanced. So that was amazing that happened already. I'm not used to that happening until after the fast is done, but then to have it where I'm still doing this is really awesome. And I feel like that's also going to help to contribute to healing. And so after that happened, so yesterday when that happened, that's when I was like, I could feel something different change. I could see on the pH strip that the pH, like I could feel at a deeper sense that something was suddenly in balance. And when that happened, I just felt like, I felt different. I feel like I need, some external representation of that feeling of different. And that's why I just said, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to shave it all off. I'm tired of having the beard, it's not a big beard, but, it's just like, time to get rid of it. I'm feeling renewed, refreshed, rebalanced, and so it's like a new being feeling. And then again today, I only had water, and that's it. Yeah, I didn't even eat. I don't even think I even took a pinch of salt. Nothing. I was like, okay, I'm pretty salted up the last few days. I consumed large amounts, so yeah. And then so I'm assuming I will definitely probably drop a pound or 2 tomorrow, given that I did not consume any salts and just water. Let's see, in terms of my legs, yeah, I mean, it's weird. It kind of comes and goes, the coloring. Like certain times a day, it looks like super light pink, where it's almost invisible, and then different times, kind of like reddens up just a little bit more. But again, it's coming along. It's coming along little by little by little. I'm still holding to it that I think the one on the right is going to heal mostly first, and then this one will then pick up. Yeah. I've only got 12 days left. So let's see where this is. Hopefully this will get to the finish line in 12 days, and that this will basically be gone. This one will basically be gone. As long as this one's basically gone, and then this one is mostly faded by the time I get to day 40, then, I think I'll be happy with those results. And then probably just continuing eating a very clean, healthy diet, and then now having this balanced pH will then help to complete whatever healing that needs to be done for this to just be completely gone. So yeah, so that's where I'm at so far. Yeah, so in terms of feeling wise, I could sense that, yeah, definitely introducing some of the combination of the apple cider vinegar with the cayenne and a little bit of the honey in there, that it kind of reawakened a little bit of the cravings now. And so now that today I just completely went to zero anything, just water. Even right now I can feel a little tiny waves of little hunger feeling, but it's like pretty, it's not super strong. It's kind of subtle. It's more of like a slight annoyance. It's like a slight irritation, like a slight annoyance irritation to me feeling. I'm just like, okay. But then there's also a knowing that it's just a passing feeling, like a passing cloud. And then I'm just like, okay, I just gotta drink more water. Let it pass, let it pass, let it pass. It just need to let it get back, let this pass by. And I'm confident that by sometime tomorrow that this will mostly be reset again. And then my ketones will rise back up and I'll be good to go. I'm just curious if my pH will start going down again, or do I need to, in terms of apple cider vinegar, I'm talking like those bottles that, the big bottle that you get, the large Bragg's vinegar. Over the last couple of days, I basically drank like an entire bottle, which seems an insane amount of apple cider vinegar to consume. But I kept splashing it into the water and taking, electrolyte, no sugar added electrolyte drink, and just adding more and more apple cider vinegar. But I guess because I consumed so much of it on a short basis, I see now that, wow, I think that definitely moved the needle when it comes to pH. I didn't realize it could move it that much, but normally people are like, 1 tablespoon per day. I was doing like a tablespoon every 5 minutes practically on some of the days. So I was definitely consuming a very high amount of apple cider vinegar, but it made the difference. It definitely made the damn difference. That is the main variable that I could pinpoint why my pH suddenly went from just kind of staying in that 5.75 to 6 range to suddenly leaping overnight to 7.25. Yeah, because that's a huge shift, whereas before it might have been like, 6, 6.25, 6, inching up little by little by little, but it was just like, bam, suddenly just balanced. So it only took drinking like half a gallon of apple cider vinegar over a couple of days to make that shift. Even though apple cider vinegar, like at first it made it sound like, it's kind of acidic, but in reality it's an alkalizing effect. And so it just so it really offset the acidity in my body. And so now I'm just like, man, I'm a firm believer in it now. When the pH is off, consume more apple cider vinegar. I think that's one of the insights that I got from this experience. And like later when I'm eating, I'm checking my pH on a regular basis. I think it's a good idea to keep checking it, at least once a week. And then see if it's dropping below 7. If it starts getting into the 6s again, then start consuming some more apple cider vinegar. Cut things out. But my plan is to already cut all this stuff out, all the bad stuff. But if for whatever reason it's going down, then consume more apple cider vinegar. Eat salads. Eat a nice big salad with lots of apple cider vinegar as a dressing base and stuff like that. And so now I'm going to be going over to New Orleans in 2 days. And so that's going to be interesting. yeah, like I'm going over there in 2 days, but I still have, I still have like over 10 days left of this fast. So I'm basically going to spend the first, like, I'm basically going to spend like a week and a half in New Orleans not eating. Which I guess that will save me, it's certainly going to save me money. That's for sure. Give me time to just kind of like get the lay of the land and see what's actually safe to eat and not just jump straight in. But my birthday my birthday will happen in the middle of Mardi Gras. And that's when I'll break my fast officially with food. I mean, I've already kind of soft broke it because I started having, master cleanse type ingredients. Not molasses, but like a very low sweetness type of honey in there. So I'm just going to have to be cautious in how I navigate over there in New Orleans and not just like immediately start eating, like right when I break the fast, start chumming down on beignets and, shit like that, which, I've had beignets. It was like, oh, I have the original New Orleans, but I'm just like, I just can't do it. It's just not worth it. I just put in too much work, time and effort and energy into clearing out my body. Like I'm just starting to just tell myself to relate to sugar as arsenic. Just treat sugar as rat poison. Like think about, just every time I think about sugar, think arsenic, rat poison. Might be sweet, still's poison. Doesn't matter if it's sweet, still's poison. You wouldn't need poison just because it's sweet. Even though with sugar, it's poison, but it's sweet, so we ignore that it's poison. So I'm just like, nope, beignets are poison. Delicious poison, but still poison, Delicious comes secondary to it's fucking poison. Poisoning my body, causing all this fucked up shit on my body, doing all this damage, it's clearly poison. So I just gotta respect that fact that sugar is poison and don't be a fool, and just being a fool if I ignore it. And so just as long as I maintain this clarity and don't go start scarfing down all that stuff and become hopelessly sugar addicted again. So it's like broke the addiction. So now it's maintain that broken addiction state of awareness and in my body. So yeah, but I'm not discounting that this is probably going to be fairly challenging, going over there in a totally new environment, which there'll be lots and lots and lots and lots of temptations. So I just got to be steadfast and don't lose sight of what I value. What is my number one value right now, which is like getting this body in great shape, getting this body in great balanced order, getting this body totally healthy, balanced, and just high performing, and putting processed garbage shit in my body is just sacrilege to myself at this point. And it's just like horrifying, the thought, it's just like keep that state of mind, just like that is horrifying. Putting donuts and candy and cakes and everything in the body is just sinful, and not in the sexy way, sinful in just a perverse way, and it's like I can only see it's easy for me to see it now when I'm in this state, but I gotta remind, it's like just putting this, just like reminding myself again and again. Every time as I go through a store, I see cakes and different things, just look at it and just say, that is junk, garbage, poison. There's nothing good in that. It's there to kill you, So just don't eat it. So there's no desire. Like, have anti-desire, have like repulsion. So it's like I'm in the process of just conditioning and training myself to associate to these different junk foods as repulsive, not as like temptations I need to resist, but as things as I walk by it, I'm like, ugh, like instill a healthy repulsion to food, processed foods that are bad, are just horrible for you. Horrible. I know they're horrible. I mean, I see the results. Like, my body was the fucking wreck, as a result of just eating all this crap and all this trash. So, yeah, so that's that. So see how it goes. Well, I guess on to day 29.